Hi everyone, Doug Jenkins with you on our Chamber of Commerce YouTube channel once again, joined by Emilie Snider of Chamber Energy Partners and Palmer Energy. Emilie helps us with our energy plans that help you save money in both electricity and gas. Emilie, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So one of the things that we want to do is we have a lot of different benefits that can help save members money. But a lot of times when you start to read about it, you get into the minutia, it can be a little intimidating sometimes. You have a lot of questions, and what I want to do is try and simplify that with this series of videos. So that's what we're here to do, to talk about our energy savings plans. And Emilie, as our representative for that, can spell it out a lot better than I can, but I'm good at asking random questions. So we figured we'd get together and talk about those two things. So Emilie, let's just get right into it. When it comes to getting involved in this plan, everybody wants to save money on their gas bill. Everybody wants to save money on their electricity bill. How do we start that process though?
Okay, well, the best way, first I want to let everyone know that I'm available for face-to-face meetings, virtual meetings, phone calls, whatever is at your comfort level right now during, obviously COVID. Not everyone's comfortable with a, face-to-face meeting. Emailing your natural gas and electric bill copies for each of your meters at your location is a great place to start, because then I have a really good idea of how many kilowatt hours you're using, how many MCFs of gas that you're using annually. And that gives me a really good idea also of if you're in a third-party supply agreement. We make sure that we go through the process of confirming if you're in a contract, when that ends, getting the timing down for your renewals or the next time that you get into something.
Emilie, let's start there. One of the things that makes this potentially a confusing arena is there are a lot of people out there trying to do this and telling people, I'm going to save you money. And sometimes they're not doing it on the up and up. And if you're already in a contract, they'll sign you up on their own contract, and then you're left to pay that exit fee, which can be substantial. That's not something you're going to do.
Right. As far as energy consulting, the consulting, similar to a broker, but on our end, we're definitely looking into the supply portion of your bill, making sure we have our, if I'm looking over your bill and I see a supplier listed there, we're definitely going to have you call and find out if you're in a contract, if so, when it ends. Most electric contracts have early termination fees in them. So be able to see that, also see if the rate you're paying may not be competitive, may seem a little high for current market or even, previous market, which a lot of times means that your contract has already ended and has auto-renewed. There may have been a auto-renew clause in your contract that you didn't know about, especially if you got signed up for something over the phone. And what happens then is when your contract ends, let's say that broker or whoever called you doesn't get a hold of you, you keep renewing at a variable, a lot of times non-competitive rate every month, until all of a sudden you notice, wow, my bills are getting a little out of hand here. But yeah, unfortunately, the energy market right now, everybody's flooded with phone calls and solicitations, sometimes door to door, and you don't know what is a scam, what is legitimate. There are a lot of legitimate suppliers out there and ways to save money, but knowing the difference is difficult. But being a partner with the Findlay Chamber of Commerce, we've already been vetted by them, and we're a respected program for their member benefits.
Emilie, I think a lot of questions that people have is they're like, well, what's this going to cost me to just look at? And there's no cost up front. You're just going to examine their bill, see if there's savings. And then the costs, actually, the way that you get paid is just through the services provided. Then there's just a little piece in there, but it's going to be under what they're paying if you can find that for them.
Right. There's absolutely no cost for us to review your bills or even have a meeting or a conversation. What we do is look through everything, and then we present different options to you for savings. It's at that time you decide whether you want to proceed with one of our, fixed rate electric contracts. And, we have different options on the natural gas side, but obviously we discuss that depending on your individual situation. But yes, the any fees that would be associated are already locked into that all-inclusive fixed rate cost on electric, and then on the natural gas side, it would be baked into that basis cost, which is that fixed rate of your natural gas cost.
Well, as we record this video, we're going into the summer cooling season, so that's a good chance to look at that electric bill. You're going to have those AC costs, but let's talk a little bit about the businesses that can benefit from this, because I think a lot of times people think, well, I don't really have that much area, so I don't stand to save that much. I have a small office, but that's not necessarily the case, because it's not necessarily based on how your savings aren't based on how big your area is. It's that kilowatt hour that's so important.
Right, right. Savings, what you would be savings is really individual basis. What you're currently doing compared to what we can help you get into. We also want to consider for some of our smaller users, when we review the bills, maybe getting into electric contract might not be the best situation from them, but you do have local aggregation programs that are also something to consider as a way to save off that variable price to compare with the utility. So a lot comes into play. Our larger, industrial manufacturers, we do a formal RFP process and a recommendation. We reach out to multiple suppliers on your behalf for different pricing options and present those to you. So, and then on the smaller energy user side, we use an aggregate pool. So you're part of a much larger group, and then we're going out for pricing. So you're getting that benefit for bulk purchasing power, having a greater benefit than you would going out on your own if you're a smaller user.
And Emilie, I have to think that as a restaurant, I would really want to check in on this, because not only do I have to keep my area cool for customers, whatever your dining arrangement might look like right now, with COVID-19 going on and everything, but also you've got you're running your grills, you've got your fryers and everything else. So you're using gas on that end. So there's two pretty high costs, or two costs that I should say could be pretty high for you. It's worth examining at the very least.
Oh, definitely. We have a really broad base of clients, as small as, smaller offices up to large industrial, manufacturing, healthcare systems, schools, hotels, a lot of different types of businesses throughout the state of Ohio. So, if you're based in Findlay, but you have some other locations throughout the state, we can assist with that as well.
Always good to know about that. So if people want to get started with you, what's the best way to get in touch?
Well, I can be reached at esnider@palmerenergy.com. My phone number is 419-491-1017. Also, my information is listed on the Findlay Chamber's website.
Well, Emilie, I appreciate you joining us. This is obviously we've got a lot of different benefits, but I think from a bottom line standpoint, when you're looking to lower that bottom line, this is one of the benefits that I would encourage all of our members to check out, because you're leaving money on the table if you don't at least check it out at this point.
Right.
I'd be checklist number one after I joined the chamber as a new member, or if I was an existing member, and if I haven't done this, just go through that process just to see, because I think it can be very worth our members' while.
Right. Well, thank you so much for having me, Doug. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you joining us. And of course, we'll be adding new videos to this playlist throughout the coming weeks, outlining some of our benefits for Chamber of Commerce members. I'm Doug Jenkins with Emilie Snider for the Findlay Hancock County Chamber of Commerce.